Hello, everybody out there, and welcome back here with the future once again to another showcase and review. And today's showcase and review, we're going to be taking a look at another wrestling action figure that I recently added to my collection. It was given to me by a friend, and it is none other than the 2009 Jakks Pacific Ruthless Aggression Series 40.5 Ring Rage Triple H action figure. I did not have any of the Ruthless Aggression style figures in my collection, and I said as soon as I got a Ruthless Aggression style figure, I would do a showcase and review here on my channel for it, so I am going to do that. I really appreciate everybody who's left any feedback, shown any support. I really appreciate it. If this is your first time viewing, make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a comment down below, and give me a like if you like what you see. I really hope everybody likes taking a look at this Ruthless Aggression style figure. You know, Jakks had three main lines. It was the Bone Crunchers, the Ruthless Aggression style, and the Titantron Live figures, which were in between the Bone Cruncher and the Ruthless Aggression style. So I'm so glad to have this Ruthless Aggression style figure that was released in 2009 by Jakks Pacific, right before Mattel took over in 2010. It is of the King of Kings, the game Triple H. It is Ruthless Aggression Series 40.5 Ring Rage Triple H action figure. So I think everybody checking this out, and now let's take a look at it. Okay, so here we have a lineup here, and I just wanted to show the different styles that Jakks Pacific did, the three most popular styles. First was the Bone Crunchers, which actually is my favorite line style that they did, that started in '95 and ran up to 1999, which they started making the Titantron Live figures, which is the next most well-known style from Jakks Pacific. And this is the Vince McMahon that came with the Titantron Live playset, and you can see they added knee joints, ankle joints, that I didn't like at the Titantron Live action feature there where they plugged in. The arms still, though, no articulation there at the elbows, but you did have these ball jointed shoulders, which went up and down, and, you know, a lot more movable than your Bone Cruncher, just, you know, 360 style 5-point articulation figures, as you can see on the legs and stuff. And a big update on the Titantron Live styles, you know, from the '97 Bone Cruncher, Austin here. And then the third most popular style, and it outlasted the Bone Crunchers, believe it or not, the Ruthless Aggression style body. And that is what we're going to look at here. It is the Triple H 2009 Ring Rage Series 40.5 Ruthless Aggression style Triple H. And the cool thing about these Ruthless Aggression style figures, you had they really changed the game, because you had the wrist articulation, you had the elbow articulation, you had the articulation at the shoulders, which went all the way up instead of just, you know, limited there, because you see he can't go all the way up, he can go to there, the Vince Titantron. But this one could go, you know, all the way up and around, and you could hold his arm all the way up like he's, you know, just holding it up in victory and whatnot. So you had great articulation. Of course, the head, you know, rotated 360. The Titantron heads did not even rotate. Same with the Bone Cruncher heads. They were there and looked like they had articulation, but they did not rotate. Of course, they gave the heads articulation finally with the Ruthless Aggression style figures. And then you had, of course, your knee articulation, which really helped, and your legs that, you know, fully extended out. I explained about the Titantron Live figures. They didn't really extend all the way out, where you could do a seated leg drop. These much better. Not all the way sitting style, but sitting enough where you could lay down a good, you know, leg drop here on Vince if you wanted to. Elbow drop, whatever you wanted to do. He's pretty loose at the waist, this Triple H is. AKA the game, the King of Kings. You gotta love Triple H, even though, you know, he has a lot of backstage pull, and now is pretty much, you know, part of running the company. He's still, you know, in my opinion, not the greatest superstar of all time, but one of the greats, one of the ones that really got in there and enjoyed wrestling and loves wrestling, and that's why he's still in it to this day. Married the boss's daughter, Stephanie, if anybody doesn't know by now. Of course, I'd love to have the knee and the elbow pads. Like my friend C-Dub told me, you can get those offline fairly cheap. Maybe not the Iron Cross logo on them, but some black ones that would go with this figure well, because like I said, they had rubber removable elbow and knee pads. I like how, you know, they put the vein detail, the quads, and the traps, just huge on Triple H here. That's the thing about Ruthless Aggression figures. They were real ripped out, and the body style was pretty ripped out on all figures. Of course, I don't know if there was anything on the back that just rubbed off, or if those were just solid black on the back. I didn't check. I really like, you know, the wetted down hair. It's rubber hair too, so you didn't have like a solid hair that would hinder the articulation. You can still get it around 360 like I showed. Very good face sculpt in my opinion. If they weren't using the real scan by now, I think they might have been using the real scan. Of course, he's got his beard there going on. Really cool Triple H figure from 2009, which is 10 years old by now, but not old enough to consider vintage yet. Vintage, man, you'd have to go back to maybe 2003, maybe my cutoff on vintage now, I would have to say. My latest retro review was 2001, but I think I'd consider 2003 vintage, 2002 or 2003. But nonetheless, you can see a kind of a color difference between the abdomen and the arms there, which is kind of weird. I don't know how that's coming over camera, but I can definitely tell a difference in the legs. Kind of a different color there on the Jakks figs. But here is a 2010 Mattel Kane, and I think they kind of went off the deluxe aggression figures that were being made at this time, because they have actually a newer articulation, which we haven't seen in these other figures, and that's the ab crunch articulation. So you had your ab articulation, but, you know, still kept in line with the shoulder articulation. These arms actually a little harder to bend up on the Mattels, but of course they kept the shoulder, the elbow, and the rotating wrist and swivel wrist back and forth, just like they did, you know, on these Ruthless Aggression the year before that were made. So they kept in line with a lot of the, you know, articulation and with the detail, to where they kind of like, you can still fit them in with your Jakks collection. Of course, I did not mention these were 7-inch figures too, the Ruthless Aggression Series 40.5 ring gauge were. But you can see the Kane, you know, that I have here, kept a lot within style of the Jakks Pacific figures, even though Mattel took over in 2010. And you can see they had the knee articulation going on, and of course the ankle articulation was there too. But actually, in my opinion, well, it works pretty damn good. Different style that they gave the ankle articulation. On this one, it was more of like a switch back and forth instead of your little pin there on these. So it makes them a little bit more sturdier actually at the feet. But yeah, I think the Mattel are not too far off, although Mattel makes the best action figures to date as far as detail. Of course, they had the real scan technology by 2010. I think the real scan technology was definitely prevalent in the Triple H figure here too, in 2009. But yeah, Mattel has done a good job taking over on the Jakks line. Haven't showed this guy off other than like in a lot review I did, this Kane. But I really like this Kane figure. So I do have a representation out of the package of the Mattels. I have a lot of men on card Mattels. Maybe one of these days I'll show my men on card wrestling action figure collection off of my wrestling figures. But Kane, can't get him to stand up. Looking a little weird on the stand up right now. Gotta get his legs back there, but he's good enough for the video right now. But nonetheless, the main figure that we wanted to look at was this Triple H from 2009 Ruthless Aggression Series 40.5 ring rage Triple H action figure here, the King of Kings, the game. It's Hunter Hearst Helmsley, aka Triple H. So yeah, guys, I hope everybody liked checking this out. We'll put the Vince and the Stone Cold back here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a comment down below, give me a like if you like what you saw. Really appreciate all the feedback and support, as I've already mentioned in the beginning of the video. But yeah, guys, until next time, I really appreciate the watch. And until my next wrestling action figure review, or my next showcase and review period. I do have a showcase and review coming up on my friend Thaddeus's. Well, I'm not going to name off what it is, but it's an action figure set, a 4-figure set that's mint in packages I'm going to do a showcase and review on next. But until then, I really appreciate everybody watching. And until next time, guys, it's time to play the game. And peace out.